No one would have come and not and just left, would they? You're hearing things because there's no one here. So does that mean hopefully no one was there to begin with and then left? Would they have left after 5 minutes, like? Okay. Really, no one. Oh, attendee. Okay. Hello, Ajit. Hello,
Hello.
Ajit.
Hello. Hi. How are you
Hello,
doing?
how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very good. Let me share my screen here so I can let you see my PowerPoint today.
Sure.
Now, can you see?
Yeah.
Very good. Slideshow from beginning. Okay, so welcome to our listening lesson today, and it is week 3, of course, of our live lessons. So we're going to be focusing on our listening. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Great. Very good. Okay, so let's get into it. So the lesson content today then is an introduction to PTE listening. So just a little overview very quickly. You already know this, so we'll just go over it. And then our lesson focus today is highlight incorrect words. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the task highlight incorrect words today. Learn how to approach the task, any strategies or tips, and then we have one task where we look at some similar sounding words. And then practice sample prompts. So, and then Q&A and feedback. Okay, Ajit, so let's get straight into it. Now, here is the structure of the overall test. Of course, we've been through this before, so this is a selection of some of the tasks within the listening section. What do you find most difficult, Ajit?
Um, Multiple choice. Choose multiple answer.
Okay, yeah. Well, we did that last week and you actually did quite well, I remember.
Yeah. I was not able to answer two. Two answer. I was not able to give two answer.
Yes,
So I
and
was
I
able
think,
to make one.
yes? Yeah, and I think you were very safe about choosing only one that you were confident about, right?
Yeah.
Instead of choosing many, and therefore negative marking would take down your score. So that was good to be safe in that area. Anything else that you find difficult?
Yeah. Right from dictation also like I'm unable to catch every words like article especially a and the and singular plural even there
Yes.
is the
Yes.
problem. Yeah.
Yes, I know what you mean. So it's more those smaller words rather than the content words with right from dictation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the connecting words. Okay, yes, well, of course, maybe not next week, I'm not sure the week, but we will be looking at right from dictation some week also in more detail and give you lots of opportunities to practice that task. Okay, so yeah, that's just an overview of our tasks. And again, we have an overview of the different lengths of the prompts. So we'll just go straight to highlight incorrect words, and that is from 15 to 50 seconds for the mock prompt or for the prompt that you will hear on the day. So you will see a transcript and a recording is played soon after that. And as you listen, highlight the words that do not fit with the oral recording. So that's what we're doing today with our highlight incorrect words. Okay, so Ajit, we've already gone through these questions before, but what about the last question there? I know that you work in an English-speaking environment. Isn't that right, Ajit?
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you ever listen and read at the same time?
No, not
No?
usually.
Yeah.
No, not usually, but I have been practicing in PTE. For PTE, I have been doing that, but not in my daily life.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's something that you don't really do often. You just either read or you listen. But for this task, we need to be able to read along with the text and listen to the recording so that we can catch those incorrect words. So yeah, it's kind of a skill that you don't practice that much. So it's a good idea to, like you say, practice it for the PTE exam. Okay, so what is the task then? Highlight incorrect words. Can you give me a summary of it?
Um, There will be one paragraph, and there will be an audio, and the speaker will read the paragraph. And based on the speaker reading skill, we need to point out like which word is incorrect. We need to highlight those words, incorrect
Exactly.
words.
Yeah, perfect. Very good. So yes, for this item type, you're presented with a transcript of the audio recording. However, the transcript contains some errors, like you said. And while listening and reading, you need to select the words in the text that differ from what the speaker says. So how do you usually find this task, Ajit?
It's not easy. Like it's medium.
Mm-hmm.
Out of five incorrect word, I usually answer three or four.
Yes. So it's really, really testing those listening skills, right?
Yeah.
So how long is the recording? It's between 15 to 50 seconds, like we just said. And how long do you have to complete this task? How long does it usually take you, Ajit, for this task?
Mm, I'm not sure. Maybe 30 second, I think.
Yeah, so obviously
20 or 30 seconds.
it depends on the length of the recording, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you ever do you take any time after you select your answers to review, or what's your procedure usually?
Yeah. Firstly, I listen the audio, and then if I'm unable to find any errors, then I go through thoroughly its transcript. I go through the transcript, and then I will wait. Like, yeah, I missed this one.
Okay, so you try and assess it afterwards based on, you mean grammatical context or what you think seems incorrect?
Yeah, I listen to the audio if we
Mhm.
still but still if I am unable to find the proper answer from the audio, then I go through the script.
Yeah, okay.
There's a script option there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll have a look today at what is probably the best way to approach that task when we look at our method. So really for this task, about a minute, because you're just using the time for the recording. So, but it really depends on how long the recording was. If the recording was only 20 seconds, then maybe you will take less time. You know what I mean? But if it's 50 seconds, then you're going to take around that minute mark. But we don't really need to use too much time after with this task, because hopefully we can get the words and highlight them as we listen. But yes, like you say, if you really need the time to review after, but try to maybe just decide the words as you're going through and listening. And then how many of these prompts will I have to complete? 2 to 3 of highlighting correct words. Okay,
Okay.
so that's the task. So before listening, so these are some things that you should do before the listening. So you have 10 seconds before the recording begins. And before the recording begins, of course, you will see that transcript on the screen, and you'll be able to skim for the main topic. Yeah, so get a general idea of what the topic is or the gist of it. We always want to do that when we see some kind of reading transcript. And when you read, you want to focus on the words that contain the most meaning. Why would you do that, Ajit? Focusing on the content words. Why do you think that's important?
Maybe the content is the one that author might speak says wrong, says
Exactly.
incorrect. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So it's usually the content words that they're going to say incorrect. It's not
Right.
going to be, the articles and the prepositions.
Yeah.
And yes, so when you're skimming through, of course, you only have 10 seconds, but you can try and focus on the pronunciation of the words you aren't familiar with, so you know what to listen out for. So maybe if you're skimming through it and you see a word that you're thinking, oh, I don't even know how to pronounce that myself, you could take a little second to focus on that word and maybe try out the pronunciation so that you know when you hear it if the speaker has said that word. So what approach have you taken in the past, Ajit, during that 10 seconds?
Frankly speaking, I don't have any strategy in these talks. I usually practice more and more, and I think that the more we practice, I think this is gonna
Yes,
be
yes,
easier.
definitely. Yeah, and obviously 10 seconds is quite short, but we can try and make use of that time to the best of our ability. And I think one of the most important things is looking out for any words that you don't know how to pronounce. And that way, when you hear them, you will have practiced the pronunciation and maybe it will help. So yeah, look out for any words that you don't know the pronunciation for. Maybe get the gist, because getting the gist of a topic always helps you prepare for the recording that's coming and focusing
Yeah.
on those content words. If you can do any one of those in the 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then during the listening, of course. So a good idea is to follow along with the transcript with your cursor and highlight any words that sound different. Yeah, so use your mouse and your cursor to follow along as you listen. And you're reading as you listen. And then straight away, if you hear a word that sounds different, highlight it. Do not take any notes. Well, that's obvious, but just in case you don't want to take notes for this task, you want to just concentrate on your listening and your reading. And pay attention to words that carry sentence stress. Yes, so if the speaker is stressing certain words, then you're really going to focus on those, because likely they're the content words that will be incorrect. But just remember that not all content words carry sentence stress, so be careful to listen out for the words pronounced quickly or that are de-emphasized by the speaker. So yes, just be careful not to be fooled by maybe the word isn't actually stressed or spoken louder for the speaker, but it will still, it could still be one of those incorrect words. Okay, so you need to really focus your listening on every single word. So that's during the listening, okay? So that's really just reading along, listening, and highlighting the word. Any questions about during listening, Ajit?
No.
No, all good?
Yeah,
Okay,
all good.
and then after listening. So I know you said that after listening, sometimes if you think you didn't get the words, you go back and review it based on your own grammatical knowledge, perhaps. But I think that it's a good idea to really just trust your instinct on the words that you have highlighted and trust your listening, okay? So the advice I would give is don't try to review too much and change your selections after based on the context. Because a lot of the time, you know, the incorrect word might still match grammatically. So if you go trying to change it based on your own knowledge and not your listening, you know, it might be incorrect. So a good thing is to really trust the words that you highlighted as you are listening. You know, trust the choices you made during the listening. Does that make sense, Ajit?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. I will try
Yeah,
based on
so
your approach. Yeah.
yeah, maybe
I
you
should
should
try.
try just really listen. If it sounds different, highlight it and, you know, trust yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you go changing it after, you might end up confusing yourself. And like I said, like grammatically, it makes sense a lot of the time. So you know, you need to trust your listening. So it's during the listening is the really important time, of course, for this task. Yeah. Okay, so that is the method that we take to highlight incorrect words. It's more of just, you know, what we do before, during, and after listening. Okay, so one of the big things that happens in highlight incorrect words is, of course, that there is a word that might sound very similar. So when you're reading and then when you listen to the recording, the word might sound, it's very similar, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do a task now where I have a list of words here, and I am going to read out a different word for you, and you have to match the word with a word that you think sounds similar and could be confusing during highlight incorrect words. Okay, so first of all, let's just go over the pronunciation of this list of words. So can you just pronounce each word for me, Ajit?
Okay. Effective, allusion, jealous, credible, presumptions, official, reluctant, hypothetically, produce, recovery, shift.
Excellent. So the last word there, shift.
Shift, yeah, shift.
Yeah, I remember you saying before about the SH sound, right?
Yeah.
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 So shift.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
shift.
then also hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
Very good, yes. Okay, so your pronunciation of these words was all very good. So let's just go to the next slide. So yes, I'm going to read out a list of words, and I want you to write down the words you hear and then match them with the words that has a similar sound and could be easily confused. Okay?
Okay.
So do you have a pen and paper?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's go. First word is reticent.
Reluctant.
Exactly, yes. So reticent, reluctant, yes. So we could, maybe if the speaker said it very fast and you saw reluctant and she said reticent, you could be thinking, oh, were they similar? Yeah. So can you pronounce the word I said? Reticent.
Yeah, reticent.
Very good. Okay, what about credulous?
Scrupulous. Credible.
Exactly, yes. So the reason for that is that the first syllable is the same, cred, right?
Yeah.
Credible, credulous. Although they sound very different if you listen the whole time, maybe you just hear the first syllable and think, oh, same word.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So credulous and credible. Let's see, I'll go for another word. Number 3, products.
Produce.
Yes, very good. Products, produce. Yeah, very good. What about rift?
Shipped.
Shift, exactly, yes. What about illusion?
Allusion.
Exactly. So what's the difference there?
I and A, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's simply just illusion, which is I, and
Yeah.
allusion, A.
A. Yeah.
Yep, so those two could easily be misheard. Illusion, allusion, if you say it very fast. What about, let's see, number 6, officious?
Official.
Official, yeah, perfect. Yeah, very good. What about, let's see, number 7, zealous?
Yeah, it's jealous.
Of course, yes. But you can see how these words sound sort of similar, right?
Yeah.
Number 8 then, assumptions.
Presumption.
Yes,
Yeah. Presumption.
presumptions. Yes, assumptions, presumptions.
Presumptions.
Very good. And number 8, efficient.
Effective.
Effective, excellent. And number 9, discovery.
Recovery.
Recovery, perfect. And the last one, I think, theoretically.
Hypothetically.
Yes, very good. So maybe it seems like an easy task there in isolation, but yes, so it's a good idea to familiarize yourself with some words that have similar sounds, and maybe that could be easily misheard.
Yeah.
Okay, would you like to practice the pronunciation of any more of these words? Are you happy enough?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, and do you have any more questions at this stage, Ajit?
Yeah, you said jealous, right?
Yes.
What was the spelling of that word?
Zealous?
Yeah.
Z-E-A. Oh, I actually have on the next page. I can show you here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's the different words that I said throughout the recording and their match. So yes, zealous. Do you know what zealous means?
No.
So it's like overly enthusiastic.
Okay.
Overly enthusiastic about something, sometimes maybe to your detriment. It's like maybe seen as a negative thing. And jealous, of course, you know jealous?
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, a lot of these words sometimes maybe have very similar meaning as well, but just don't work in the actual context of the recording. But the meaning can be very similar. So we're not going to go through in too much detail the difference in meaning of these words today, but I would recommend that you take a screenshot again of these lists of words and, look up the definitions and see the slight difference in meanings between these words.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them are very different, but some of them maybe have very similar meaning. Okay, so let me go straight through now. So that was our first task today. So now we're just going to look at some tips for the task, okay? So just a little overview of some tips that you can use before we get into our mock prompts. So highlight incorrect words is another task with negative marking. Okay, so don't forget
Yeah.
there's negative marking for this task. So that makes this task a little bit more difficult, I think, because you don't want to just be clicking, like crazy if you even hear one different sound. You don't want to do that because you will get -1.
Yeah.
Okay, so only click something if you are entirely sure, as an incorrect answer will gain a -1 score. So like I said, don't just click randomly in the hope you will get some words right. Okay, we need to listen really carefully. And if you get stuck on a word, you will miss the rest of the audio. So try to keep up with the audio. Don't think too much or stop to verify your answer. Yes, so this is really important. As we're reading through and listening to the recording, you know, sometimes you could stop and try, and you get caught, end up thinking, oh, I think it was different. And then you read the word, but then you end up lost in the audio and you haven't followed every single word. So it's so important that you keep up with the audio recording. Yeah, and don't stop to think too much. And like I say, just trust yourself that you heard something different. Use the mouse cursor as a reading tool to help you keep pace with the recording. Yes, so it's a good idea to use that cursor. And some of the answers, like we just saw, will sound very similar, beginning with the same letters, for example, or have similar syllables. So listen carefully. And a speaker may not emphasize or stress some of the incorrect words, so don't be fooled by this again. Yes, there might not be stress on all those content words that are incorrect, so again, listen carefully. And trust your listening skills. Don't change your choices based on meanings or context. Trust what you heard. So like I said, let's try out that approach from going forward. And get lots of practice reading and listening at the same time. This is a different skill you may not have practiced before. So we discussed this at the at the beginning, Ajit. So yeah, we'll try and get lots of practice reading and listening at the same time. Okay, so are you ready to get stuck into some mock prompts and get practicing? Let's go.
Yes.
Okay, so here is our transcript. So I'll give you 10 seconds to skim it. Let's go. Okay, Ajit, I'm going to play the recording. Of course, we don't have a highlight, tool for you to highlight this as you go along. So if you could maybe just take a note of the words that you think, or if you want to screenshot it and do it on your own computer. Yeah, how do you think you would like to highlight the words? Write them down?
Okay, I will take the notes.
Yes, so we won't time it too strictly, and I can let you listen to it twice if you want, just so that you can take notes, as we aren't able to let you highlight it.
Okay.
Let me see. Maybe I could let you annotate. Let me see. Remote control. Give mouse to edit. Annotate. So are you able to annotate the screen? Yes. So you can highlight the words then as you go along. That will be easier.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right. So
can we erase that?
Yes.
Can we erase?
Yes, so you can see eraser here. Is that me? Yeah, that's me. I've erased it for you. Okay. So let me click play on the recording, and I hope that you will be able to. Let me see. Oh no. Maybe that's not going to work because I have to click play on the recording. Let me see. So if you want, maybe you should just take the notes.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Sorry, Ajit.
No
okay,
problem.
let's go. A new way of removing carbon dioxide from a stream of air could provide a significant tool in the battle against climate change. The new system can work on the gas at virtually any concentration level, even down to the roughly 400 parts per million currently found in the atmosphere. Most methods of removing carbon dioxide from a stream of gas require higher concentrations, such as those found in the flue emissions from fossil fuel-based power plants. A few variations have been developed that can work with the low concentrations found in air. But the new method is significantly less energy intensive and expensive, the researchers say. The device is essentially a large, specialized battery that absorbs carbon dioxide from the air, passing over its electrodes as it is being charged up, and then releases the gas as it is being discharged. Okay, Ajit, so were you able to take notes?
Yeah.
Yes, and do you think that once listening was enough?
Mm, I'm not 100% sure because I was focusing on writing
I
writing
know. Let me
myself.
see, is there a way I can let you so if I have shared the control with you, so you could click annotate. Can you see that? You can click annotate once I click play?
No.
No? No, okay, so we'll just play. Oh, no. Go back. Okay, so I'll just play again and give you one more chance to just note down the words that here sounded different, okay?
Okay.
Let's go. A new way of removing carbon dioxide from a stream of air could provide a significant tool in the battle against climate change. The new system can work on the gas at virtually any concentration level, even down to the roughly 400 parts per million currently found in the atmosphere. Most methods of removing carbon dioxide from a stream of gas require higher concentrations, such as those found in the flue emissions from fossil fuel-based power plants. A few variations have been developed that can work with the low concentrations found in air, but the new method is significantly less energy intensive and expensive, the researchers say. The device is essentially a large, specialized battery that absorbs carbon dioxide from the air, passing over its electrodes as it is being charged up, and then releases the gas as it is being discharged. Okay, Ajid, so give me the first word from the reading transcript that you think is incorrect.
The first line, I think, probe.
Very good, very good. So did you hear the word that it the reader said?
Yeah, but I
Can you
don't
remember?
remember now.
That's
No.
okay. That's fine because that's going to be the next part of the task. The next part of the task, I want you to listen and actually note down the word, just for the purposes of our lesson today. So yes, perfect. Prove. Okay. Can you give me another word?
Coordination.
Okay. Very good. Another one?
Found.
Found. Okay.
Um, Emanations.
Very good. Another one?
Found again, I think.
Two founds. Okay.
Yeah. Then extensive.
Extensive.
Carbon monoxide.
Yeah. Very good.
Electrons.
Electrons. Great. Okay. So let's go through now and see those incorrect words and see what you got right. Yes, so prove. Prove was one of them, incorrect word, okay? Then we have coordination. Correct, that was an incorrect word. So if you had highlighted that, you would get it correct. And then we have techniques. Okay, so nowhere is there found. So I'm wondering, is my pronunciation of found, does it sound strange to you? So how do you pronounce it? Found?
Found, yeah.
So you say like
Found.
found,
No,
found,
found.
found. Whereas
Yeah.
I say found. Is it a little bit different maybe?
Found. Maybe, I think.
Maybe it's a little bit different. Yes, found, found. Yeah, I say
Found.
found. Yeah. So maybe it was just a pronunciation thing. So then we have techniques. So we missed that one. Emanations, correct. That's great. Extensive, you also got that correct. Monoxide, great.
Yeah.
And electrons. Yeah, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7. So that was really good. So now I'm going to play the recording one more time, Ajit. And of course, this isn't part of highlight incorrect words, but we're just doing it for our own listening skills today, okay? And I want you to actually listen now for what the correct words are and try and note them down, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to the next page and I'll play the recording. A new way of removing carbon dioxide from a stream of air could provide a significant tool in the battle against climate change. The new system can work on the gas at virtually any concentration level, even down to the roughly 400 parts per million currently found in the atmosphere. Most methods of removing carbon dioxide from a stream of gas require higher concentrations, such as those found in the flue emissions from fossil fuel-based power plants. A few variations have been developed that can work with the low concentrations found in air. But the new method is significantly less energy intensive and expensive, the researchers say. The device is essentially a large, specialized battery that absorbs carbon dioxide from the air, passing over its electrodes as it is being charged up, and then releases the gas as it is being discharged. Okay, so did you get down some words?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go and see then. A new. Okay, so prove. What did you get for prove? What did the speaker say?
Provide.
Provide, exactly, yes. Prove was provide. So just the first syllable there sounds a little bit similar, but it's a longer word, so you got that. What about coordination?
Concentration.
Concentration, perfect. Coordination, concentration. What about techniques?
Methods.
Methods, perfect. So what do you think about the fact that you didn't notice the difference with techniques and methods?
Maybe I was overlooking that word, I think.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Because, I mean, today you have to note down the words as well. So, it's difficult to get a true reflection. But techniques and methods, of course, have no similar sound, but they are so similar in meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what about emanations?
Emissions.
Emissions, perfect. Yes, emissions. And what about extensive?
Intensive.
Intensive, yeah, very good. Monoxide?
Dioxide.
Dioxide, perfect. And electrons?
Electrodes.
Electrodes, yes. So you can see we have a lot of similar sounds, sometimes just a similar word to try and fool you. But you did really well with this task, and your listening was really good to be able to write down all those words. So any question about that task?
No,
No?
all good.
Okay, great. So let's go through and do another one then. Okay, so this was just, I included a transcript of the correct words, but we've gone through that, so that's fine. A new. Okay, so now I'll give you again 10 seconds to look at and familiarize yourself with the text. Okay, Ajit, so I'm going to play the recording. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Autism is hard to screen for in children when the first signs are present. A trained clinician may be able to detect autism at 18 months or even younger, yet the average age of a diagnosis of autism in the US is about 4 years old. We need objective, non-invasive screening tools that don't depend on assessing a child's behaviour. One of the big goals of the field is to develop objective neural markers of autism that can work with non-verbal individuals. This neural marker is just that. This visual test may be a non-verbal marker of autism in adults. Our next steps are to learn whether this test could potentially be used to detect autism in pre-verbal children and non-verbal adults, and develop it into a screening tool for the condition. In the meantime, this result gives us new insight into the brain in autism, showing that visual regions of the brain are affected. Okay, Ajit, did you manage to get the incorrect words?
Yeah, I'm not 100%, again, not sure.
Yeah, no worries. So maybe just give me your answers and then we can maybe play it one more time just to confirm.
Okay.
I'll see how you did just on that one alone. Okay?
Yeah. And the first one I found is physician.
Okay. Yeah. What about
Dis
the next
di
one?
discover.
Discover.
Subjective.
Subjective.
Aims.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually.
Very good.
Complaint.
Complaint. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's very good. You got a lot of those words. I don't think we need to listen to it again. So let's just go straight through and see now what the incorrect words were. Okay, yes. So there's only one word that you missed there. So I included a lot of words here. I included 8. So yes, you did really well. You got 7 of them, just not 1. So we have a trained physician. So it was another word, and I'm going to get you to note down what they were. That may be able to discover. We need subjective.
Objective, that was.
Yes.
You pronounced it objective.
Yes, and then one of the big aims of the field is to develop objective oral markers. So that's the only one that you missed there. Oral, and the correct word, oh, we'll do that after. So this visible test, did you get visible?
No.
Oh, no, yeah, visible, we missed visible. And our next steps are to learn whether this test could actually, good, and the last one, complaint. Okay, perfect. So let's go through now. I'll play it one more time, and you can note down what the words actually were in the recording. Okay?
Okay.
Let's go. Autism is hard to screen for in children when the first signs are present. A trained clinician may be able to detect autism at 18 months or even younger, yet the average age of a diagnosis of autism in the US is about 4 years old. We need objective, non-invasive screening tools that don't depend on assessing a child's behaviour. One of the big goals of the field is to develop objective neural markers of autism that can work with non-verbal individuals. This neural marker is just that. This visual test may be a non-verbal marker of autism in adults. Our next steps are to learn whether this test could potentially be used to detect autism in pre-verbal children and non-verbal adults, and develop it into a screening tool for the condition. In the meantime, this result gives us new insight into the brain in autism, showing that visual regions of the brain are affected. Okay, did you get the words?
Yeah.
Yeah. Autism. So let's go through. Okay, so the first one, a trained physician.
Yeah, this one I'm not sure. I heard inclination.
Okay, yeah. So let me just go back and see if I can play it, just that short bit at the beginning. Autism is hard to screen for in children when the first signs are present. A trained clinician may... A clinician. Clinician. So it's I'll show you here. CLINICIAN. Okay, so another kind of person who works in clinics. So yes, yeah, it was quite easy to not to hear mishear that, because the physician part, clinician, it's so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, clinician. May be able to detect. Yes, very good. Discover, detect. So of course they have very similar meanings. So if you went back over that again and we're looking, oh, but discover makes sense, like you really should just trust your listening. And then what about subjective?
Objective.
Objective, exactly. Subjective, objective. Aims?
Goals.
Goals, yes. So do they sound similar at all?
No.
No, there's no similarity there. It's only just that they have very similar meanings. So yeah. What about, I just gave you the answer. So oral, what was it?
No, I was unable to find.
You didn't get that one, yes. Neural. So that one is quite difficult. Oral neural, especially if you're not familiar with the word neural. So are you familiar with that word?
No.
Yeah, so it just means like relating to the nervous system. So yeah, oral neural. Can you pronounce that word, neural?
Neural.
Yeah, exactly. What about visible then?
Visual.
Visual. Yes, so visible, visual.
Visual.
What about actually?
Potentially.
Potentially. Perfect, yes. Actually, potentially. And complaint?
Condition.
Condition. Yeah, perfect. So you did really well for that mock prompt. It was just those 2 words, oral and visible, which, yeah, they were quite difficult words there. Okay, so any questions after mock prompt 2, Ajit?
No.
No? So let's proceed to our final mock prompt today. Autism is... Okay, so I'll give you time now to look at the text.
This one looked tougher.
Why do you say that?
This one is more difficult, I think.
Like, you mean the vocabulary and the content?
Yeah.
Okay, so I shall play the recording now. Ready?
Okay.
Mars once had salt lakes that are similar to those on Earth and has gone through wet and dry periods, according to an international team of scientists. The team examined Mars' geological terrains from Gill Crater, an immense 95-mile-wide rocky basin that is being explored with the NASA Curiosity rover since 2012, as part of the Mars Science Laboratory mission. The results show that the lake that was present in Gill Crater over 3 billion years ago underwent a drying episode, potentially linked to the global drying of Mars. Gill Crater formed about 3.6 billion years ago when a meteor hit Mars and created its large impact crater. Since then, its geological terrains have recorded the history of Mars, and studies have shown Gill Crater revealed signs that liquid water was present over its history, which is a key ingredient of microbial life as we know it. Okay, so how did you do?
It went well,
Yes?
I think.
So maybe the words that you thought were going to be incorrect weren't, it wasn't as hard as you thought it was going to be. Okay,
Yeah.
so give me the words then that, the ones that were incorrect.
Identical,
Mm-hmm.
transnational,
Okay.
then I think event,
Yes.
uh, formed, component.
What was that last word? Component.
Component. Yeah.
Yes, component. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 5 words.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you an opportunity to listen to it one more time. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Mars once had salt lakes that are similar to those on Earth and has gone through wet and dry periods, according to an international team of scientists. The team examined Mars' geological terrains from Gill Crater, an immense 95-mile-wide rocky basin that is being explored with the NASA Curiosity rover since 2012, as part of the Mars Science Laboratory mission. The results show that the lake that was present in Gill Crater over 3 billion years ago underwent a drying episode, potentially linked to the global drying of Mars. Gill Crater formed about 3.6 billion years ago when a meteor hit Mars and created its large impact crater. Since then, its geological terrains have recorded the history of Mars, and studies have shown Gill Crater revealed signs that liquid water was present over its history, which is a key ingredient of microbial life as we know it. Okay, so did you add any more words to your list?
Yeah, two more.
What were they?
Enormous,
Yeah.
and I think craft. Where was that? Large impact creator. I'm not sure.
Okay, no, don't worry. Yeah, because I know you're having to note them down today, so it's not really great. But okay, let's go through then and see what you got. So you got a lot of them. Okay, so the incorrect words were identical. Great, you got that one. Then you got transnational. Explored. Did you get that one?
No.
No, so there's another one. Explored. Okay, the team explored. And then the team explored Mars geological terrains from Gill Crater, and enormous was different as well. 95-mile wide rocky basin. Yes, then you got event. So that was good. You got event. And Crafted.
Yeah, I got that. Even
Yes, you
crafted.
got. Yeah. Oh, that's the one you wanted to tell me,
Yeah,
but you forgot. Yes.
yeah.
Yes, I thought it might be that one. And then component, you got that one as well.
Right.
So yes,
Yeah,
just explored. Did you get
yeah.
explored? And
No.
enormous. Enormous. Okay, so I'm going to let you listen one more time, and I want you to tell me the words that the speaker said. Okay?
Okay.
Let's go. Mars once had salt lakes that are similar to those on Earth and has gone through wet and dry periods according to an international team of scientists. The team examined Mars' geological terrains from Gill Crater, an immense 95-mile-wide rocky basin that is being explored with the NASA Curiosity rover since 2012 as part of the Mars Science Laboratory mission. The results show that the lake that was present in Gale Crater over 3 billion years ago underwent a drying episode, potentially linked to the global drying of Mars. Gale Crater formed about 3.6 billion years ago when a meteor hit Mars and created its large impact crater. Since then, its geological terrains have recorded the history of Mars, and studies have shown Gale Crater revealed signs that liquid water was present over its history, which is a key ingredient of microbial life as we know it. Okay. So let's go then. What words do you think that the speaker said? Mars won. So for identical.
Similar.
Similar, yes, very good. So just similar meanings, but not anything similar sounds, no similar sounds. Okay, transnational?
International.
International, perfect. What about explored?
Examined.
Examined, yes. So I guess it's the EX,
Yeah,
and you just hear that and you think, oh, it's going to be fine.
yeah.
So yeah, the team also it was quite, fast. It wasn't stressed too much. The team examined Mars geological terrains. You see, it's not one of those stressed words, but it does have hold the content.
Yeah.
Quite an important verb in the sentence. So yes, explored, examined. What about enormous then?
Immense.
Immense, yeah. Enormous, immense. Okay, what about event?
Episode.
Episode, very good. Crafted?
Created.
Created, perfect. And component?
Ingredient.
I'm sure you got that anyway. That was quite easy. Yes. So component and ingredient. Yeah, exactly. So similar meanings, but not the same. Similar pronunciation, I suppose. Okay. So any questions about mock prompt 3?
No.
No, all good. So
Yeah.
Ajit, we have come to the end of our mock prompts, but we're just going to look at some feedback questions like we always do. So do you have any questions about highlighting correct words in general?
No, I'm good, but I learned one strategy like listening to the word and again hearing it again to find out the correct word that the speaker said.
Yes.
This thing I was not doing while I was practicing throughout my listening module. So I will be focusing on that on now to hear
Yeah.
it once again.
Yeah, so of course in the actual exam, you don't have to decide what the word is. It's just highlighting the word, but it's just good to practice. It's
Yeah,
really just to improve your listening, and not always just simply highlight that word, but actually get more out of it. And in order to get more out of your practice, you could listen again and like pick up what the actual word is. And it makes you, I suppose, have to focus in on your listening more, right?
yeah,
So it's just like a practice technique to improve your listening overall, and it gives you more of a test. Yeah, so you could do that in your own time just to test yourself.
yeah.
So anything else about highlight incorrect words?
No.
No? So if we go through the questions, did you answer the question prompts correctly today? Yes. So even though you had to note down the words and you couldn't just highlight them, you did really well. You actually got a lot of the words in the recording, and the incorrect words, you got a lot of them. So you did really well. Did you find, okay, so that doesn't really apply to this task, but is there anything then you would like to improve on, even overall in the PTE exam?
Yeah, there was a bit of unfamiliar words. I need to focus more on my listening section. Try to gain much more and more attention on familiar words, like you said,
Yeah.
like a physician and
Clinician.
clinician. Yeah,
Yes, yes. So
such words
again,
I need to.
yeah,
Yeah,
really good. Yeah, that's a great idea. So yeah, finding words that kind of have that similar sound,
similar
you know?
sound. Yeah,
Yeah, and where some of the syllables are the same. And so you can easily hear maybe the first syllable is the same, and you can easily hear it and then just, sort of get ready for the next word instead of really focusing on what that word is
yeah,
actually going to be. I think that would be easily done. Yeah, so if you can, familiarize yourself with like even a list of some words that sound similar, and those are words that often come up. Yes, very good. So again, like with a lot of the PTE tasks, it's really improving your vocabulary, isn't it?
yeah,
That's so important, so that if you don't know a word, then you're not going to it's not going to be useful in the task. If you don't know it, you won't hear it really that clearly. So yeah, it's just working on your bank of vocabulary, reading lots of academic articles, or watching academic videos, like lectures, and that way you can really improve on your bank of vocabulary. And what techniques do you do at the minute, Ajit, to work on your bank of vocabulary?
yeah. Throughout PTEs, I'm looking at the the PTE questions especially, and I'm working on my vocabs based on the questions that I usually practice. So if I found any
Yes.
unfamiliar word, I note it down in my copy, and then I do practice. I do learn.
Excellent. Yeah, great idea. Yeah, so familiarizing yourself really with topics that have appeared in the past on the PTE exam, and noting down the words that you don't know. That's what I would advise. So that's great. So I think that's us for today, Ajit. Do you have any other questions, or is there any other word that you heard throughout the lesson today that you would like to practice the pronunciation of, or are you happy with all the words?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just one word like
Yes.
that one, physician and clinician.
Yeah, clinician and physician.
that
Yeah.
that one I found really hard.
Yeah, so I
Beside
suppose,
that, beside that, I was doing good, I think.
yeah, you did really well, definitely, in the lesson today. So thank you so much for joining us, Ajit.
Thank you.
And tomorrow, of course, we have the speaking lesson,
Yeah.
and again on Friday, writing. So let me think. I believe speaking tomorrow is, I think it's left my mind what the actual task is for the speaking tomorrow. So I will just leave it as a surprise. Okay, so
Okay.
yes, I think it might be retail lecture, but yes, come back tomorrow and find out about the speaking. And then on Friday, writing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
thanks so much, Ajit.
Thank you. Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.